That was when I heard it. The fucking howling again. But to be able to hear it in this wind, it had to be closer this time. That was when I heard the horse scream as it started to kick wildly at the door. My mood was already dreary as my soaked clothes, and I had had enough of whatever it was outside. Whatever it was would not kill my horse. It was my sole employee, and as much as I swore at it, he did his job with little complaint. Like hell I was going to let something eat him. I grabbed my axe and my knife, but as I went for the door, I saw it bend in so far I thought it was going to implode. I braced for a shower of splinters, but they never came, thanks to the reinforcement planks I had nailed to it. Again, something hit the door, and it creaked loudly on the hinges. "Fuck it, this is happening. Get some, motherfucker!" I screamed my desperation at the door, my heart beating 1,000 beats per second. I didn't know why I said the next thing, but the words were out of my mouth before I realized I was speaking. "To the underworld with you, foul wretch! This be the house of the enlightened. Come, darkness and despair! The goddess shall forever reign upon me!" What the fuck? I don't know who was more surprised, me or the thing outside, for we both went silent for a time. It must have known what I said, because the howl that shattered the moment of relief made me drop my weapons to cover my ears. A small icon flashed before my eyes, and the retarded stun debuff started to count down from 5. While I was stunned, it set upon the door with reckless abandon, and I could hear the wooden dowels scream in protest. My only hope was they held long enough for me to recover from the debuff. When the counter hit 0, and I still had the door between me and the thing, I wasted no time. It wanted in, and I needed to get out. Death did not matter at this point. I knew I was going to die, for I was still Tier 1. The lowest of the low, and I didn't have a lick of fighting experience in this game. It seemed the only experience I did have was my hand-to-hand combat skills I acquired in the army. But even Bretta said they would be useless against certain beasts and adventurers. I needed to learn a weapon, pick a class, but I had saved all that for later, once the farm was up and running. My excuses bitch-slapped the hell out of my consciousness. It was too late for regrets. I had made yet another mistake, one that was definitely going to hurt. But if I could get outside, maybe I could reduce the damage it did to my shit. Time for thinking was over, and I made a flying corkscrew leap through the shutters of the window, like heroes did in movies. When my hands hit the wood, I heard more than felt my fingers break, and before I could protest the pain in my hands, I was outside, so wet my soul was soaked. I lay there for a moment, performing an internal review of my body. My hands hurt, but still functioned. I was wet, hurt, and pissed beyond belief. With my anger taking a hold of my better judgment, I came around the side of the cabin, ready for a fight. But as I made the corner, what I saw shook the piss right out of me. There was nothing there, just the door being slammed by some sort of invisible force. What the fuck? Is this a glitch or something? I was confused, to say the least, but my eyes were scanning the darkness for movement, anything for indication of what was causing all the noise. It didn't make any fucking sense. I could see the door moving inward with each blow that wasn't there. Then it howled. So loud I was driven to my knees, and the fucking debuff took over again. But once again, as soon as it hit 0, I was fine, and the process started over. The hair on my neck and arms lowered, and it was as if Alo got their shit together. The door stopped being slammed, and the howling stopped. Well, that was interesting. The pain in my hands told me just how interesting it was, and I winced when the adrenaline exited my bloodstream.